So like, what is the career path of a product manager?
Interesting. So almost anyone can be a product manager today, be it analyst, designer, techie. They are coming from a different roles, customer service manager. Anyone from the organization can be a product manager, because what it just needs is the deep insight into the user thinking, and we have to solve their problems. Make the customer hero of the story. That's what we say. And when we are doing that, so they start with a very simple way. They are indirectly doing a product management if they are interested already to figuring out the user insights and everything and working towards it. If you start already iterating on that, they become the product manager informally. But if they want to go from the hierarchy perspective, that they start from associate product manager, which is the junior most position when they want to start into product management. Then they acquire a role to PM, senior PM, group PM, or a principal PM. Then they move to director of product management, VP of product management, head of products, and they eventually, like a CPO, or they can take a path if they want to be in a tech side, that they can become a CTO. And they can also, because product management is the one where you are basically responsible for making the product a success. A lot of people eventually become CEOs. Like the Marissa Mayer is a very classic example of that. Sundar Pichai is a classic example of that. And eventually all these product managers become the entrepreneurs as well. They start their own products and go after the various different markets into B2B and B2C space as well. So yeah, pretty exciting career path, and great skill to acquire to go after that.
So like, hearing it from you, of course, you must be having a hectic day. So we really want to know, like, how does a product manager day looks like normally?
Yeah, it's a very hectic day, almost on a daily basis. It's like everyone asking, where is this guy?
Like
so you start from a stand-up meeting in the morning, and you take basic understanding that how engineering team, design team, and a product team is basically on a path to achieve the current sprint, and what we are going to release in the upcoming days. You're responsible for basically external, internal meetings. A lot of they will be hiring interviews. Lot of going on almost on a weekly basis. You will do demos of your product to various internal and external stakeholders at the same point of time. You will be responsible for defining a roadmap, figuring out a priority that what needs to be picked in the next sprint. You are communicating with the developers, clarifying their doubts on a day-to-day basis to basically release the product faster and without bugs in the most correct fashion. You will be discussing solutions with the design team to figure out that how the next navigation would look like for the change we are planning, or the next feature we are building. The major work goes into documentation of the product requirement documents, various FAQs documents, presentations, collaterals, so many of them. And obviously, as I said, a lot of stakeholder communication. So meeting with the internal people and discussing on the various new ideas which they are planning to launch, and how it basically going to help, what requirements they have which needs to be embedded into the product. So yeah, it's not a job, I guess. It's a very leadership kind of a role where you are responsible for things, and your responsibility speaks for itself, and you grow on a day-to-day basis doing 100,000 things.
So like you mentioned that you hire people on a daily basis. So like, how is the question and answer process handled in the interview? Could you please give us a brief knowledge about it?
So there are various types of questions which will help any PM to decide the candidate that how they are good at. So if I want to put it into a bucket, it will be a product sense kind of questions. It will be where we are trying to understand how the product sense the other candidate have, how they're thinking about a particular product. where they can scale, what is the market, what is the competitor. There's a product strategy question where we again understand that how they are going to take it ahead. We want to understand a product design question, how they are going to design a particular product. There is basically a simple assignment on that, how they are going to measure the success of particular product, which we call product analytics question. So trying to, then there's a product execution question. So if we understand that this is a product, how will you execute? What are the factors? What are the variables you will consider? And so these are the more or less 5 buckets we basically look at when analyzing every candidate's profile, so that how that person is particularly fit for a PM role. Yeah.
Okay. So would you like to give some advice to our future aspirants for this role?
Okay, definitely. So I'm sure like the future is very amazing, thinking about a product manager, because I'm not thinking of product manager as a product manager, but these are the entrepreneurs. These are the entrepreneurs from day one. They have the ability to change things, and they are basically extremely passionate about figuring a problem, building a solution around it, monetize a solution around it. So future, I would just want to say that build a product as a side hustle if you're not getting a job directly, and start looking at various interviews already which is available on YouTube, or various other courses are available. So you get a basic sense that what building a product from a theory perspective is all about. But the real sense, get a product internship, or start building your own product. That's the only advice I would give them to build a real thing and learn from your own experiences.
Okay. So lastly, we would want to know that what has your experience been like as a part of a product management?
As I said that I'm into currently health tech industry, and being basically head of product at Zyla Health. Zyla is on a mission to revolutionize the way everyone thinks about the healthcare. It's going to be a de facto product for health across the globe. And we're trying to get closer to that mission every day. Talking about that, there are scenarios that we realize that users don't want to type in the chat. They basically have to be very comfortable when they see that when we are suggesting them options in a very limited way possible, and they immediately read those options and respond them back. So we are learning more about the user every day, and that's what gives me the immense joy of working in this field, right? So this is my experience with the product management, learning more and more about users, understanding their behaviors, motivation. Psychology is one of the favorite subject I have, which I want to know and learn more about. And that's what I want to keep doing it, keep figuring out, keep building stuff, and make some money for my company and for myself as well. That's what I'm.
So lastly, I would like to ask one more question to you. Like anything interesting that happened during the interview process or the preparation for this particular job? Would you like to share about it?
So anything interesting? There are a lot of, I think almost everything is interesting about product management. Though the name suggests like a product manager and manager kind of stuff, but if I would say the another name could be a business designer. You're literally designing how the business would work for how basically the business is going to work, how you're make it successful. So for me, I was always focused on building a business rather than focusing on just building a single feature. And while doing that, this really helped me to grow. Now, when we're talking about the interviews, as I bucketed the 5 types of that thing, whenever you're talking to any other company, everyone is into a different category or a different industry. Like suppose you talk about electric vehicles, or you talk about uh, a time machine, like which is, or designing a rocket for the, which will take you to the space, to the Mars, right? So all these are a different kind of products which you will not think in general, but when you talk them in the interview, that how you're going to design this particular product, how will you monetize this, how will you basically uh, what will you build if you will be a CEO of like Amazon, and all those kind of things. Obviously it's going to expand your horizon to think into that direction, where you will start considering yourself into such a place where you can build stuff for the scale, for the user. And that really helps you to grow where, like to basically achieve the next mile.
So that is it. It was great talking to you, and of course, it was informative for all of us, and it was motivating too. So thank you so much for sharing your experiences and thoughts with us.
Thank you so much, Sonia. It was great speaking to you as well. And I'm sure like whoever's watching the video, please comment down below and let us know that what did you like, and do you want to learn anything more about us, and subscribe placement interview. Thank you so much.
Thank you.